Have you ever asked yourself, what would I do if a heart attack struck when I was completely alone? It's a frightening thought, and yet it's more common than many people realize, especially for those living alone in their 60s, 70s, or 80s. The idea of facing a medical emergency without anyone nearby can feel overwhelming. Most people believe they'll have time, or that someone will be there to help. But the truth is, the first few minutes are the most critical. And what you do or don't do in that window could mean everything. But here's the good news. Even if you're by yourself, you can survive a heart attack if you know exactly what to do. In this video from Golden Minds, we're going to walk through 7 essential, life-saving steps you must take the moment a heart attack begins. These steps are simple. You don't need medical training or expensive devices. Just awareness, calm, and a little preparation. We'll cover everything, from the very first sign your body gives you to how to keep yourself safe until help arrives. And some of these steps might surprise you, especially the last few, which are often overlooked but can make all the difference. So if you're over 60, live alone, or care for someone who does, stay with us to the very end. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Golden Minds, turn on the bell, and leave a comment to let us know you're here. Let's begin. Step 1. Call 911 immediately, even if you're not sure. So now that you know how important those first few minutes are, here's where your survival truly begins. Call 911 immediately. Not after a few minutes, not after you see if the feeling goes away, not after calling a family member. The very first thing you need to do, without hesitation, is dial emergency services. Why? Because a heart attack is not something you can wait out. Every passing minute means more damage to your heart muscle. When you call 911, you're doing more than asking for help. You're starting a chain of care that moves fast. Paramedics begin preparing the moment the call connects. They know what to bring. They know what signs to watch for. And if your condition worsens on the spot, they're trained to act instantly. Trying to drive yourself, even if you think you can, is one of the most dangerous mistakes people make. You could lose consciousness while behind the wheel, endangering yourself and others, and losing precious time. Let me tell you about Gloria, 76, who began to feel a strange pressure in her jaw one morning. At first, she brushed it off. Then her arms started to tingle. Her instinct was to call her daughter, but something told her not to wait. She dialed 911 instead. By the time the paramedics arrived, she could barely speak, but they were ready. That quick call likely saved her life. And here's something you might not know. You don't have to be absolutely sure you're having a heart attack to call. Dispatchers won't be annoyed if it turns out to be something else. In fact, they'd rather come and find you safe than arrive too late. If you live alone, keep your phone somewhere within reach at all times. Some smartphones have emergency shortcuts, even when locked. Learn them, practice them, because the moment something feels wrong, that call is your lifeline. Let it be your first move, not your last resort. Step 2. Chew an aspirin. It's small, but it buys you time. Once you've called 911, the next step might seem almost too simple, but it could save your life. Chew an aspirin. Yes, chew it. Not swallow, not dissolve. Chew it slowly, even if your hands are trembling and your chest feels tight. A standard 325 milligram aspirin, when chewed, helps thin your blood quickly. It slows down clot formation, the very thing that's likely blocking blood flow to your heart. And when every second counts, even a small delay in that clot growing bigger can make a difference. Let me introduce you to Walter, 72, who started feeling pressure in his chest while watering his garden. It wasn't intense at first, more like something was sitting on his chest. He sat down, called 911, and remembered what his doctor had once told him. Keep aspirin where you can reach it. He chewed one tablet while waiting for help. His cardiologist later said that quick action likely reduced the damage to his heart. Here's what you need to know. Chewing allows the aspirin to enter your bloodstream faster than if you swallowed it whole. That quick absorption helps slow the heart attack process until professionals arrive. If you're not allergic and aren't on medication that makes aspirin unsafe for you, it's wise to keep a few tablets somewhere easy to grab. Your nightstand, your kitchen drawer, even in your wallet or purse. Just make sure they're not coated or expired. And here's a simple step you can take today. Tell your loved ones where your aspirin is kept. If someone ever needs to help you, those few seconds matter. No, it's not a cure, but it gives your heart a fighting chance to hold on until help gets there. And when you're alone, that little white pill might be the best teammate you've got. Step 3. Know the warning signs. Your body whispers before it shouts. Now that you've called for help and taken aspirin, let's talk about something just as important, recognizing the early signs. Because none of the steps we've discussed matter unless you realize what's happening in the first place. A lot of people picture heart attacks the way they've seen them in movies. Dramatic, sudden, someone clutching their chest and collapsing to the floor. But in real life, it's often quieter than that. Your body usually starts with a whisper, not a scream. You might feel pressure in the center of your chest, like something heavy is sitting there. It might come and go, or feel like tightness instead of pain. Some people describe it as a fullness or squeezing, like being hugged too tightly from the inside, and not everyone experiences it in the chest. The discomfort can show up in your arm, shoulder, back, jaw, or even your stomach. You might feel short of breath, break into a cold sweat, feel nauseous, dizzy, or more tired than usual. And these signs are especially subtle for women and older adults. Take Barbara, 80, for example. She wasn't in pain, just unusually tired and a little breathless after folding laundry. Then she noticed her jaw felt stiff and her neck ached. It didn't seem like an emergency, but she remembered a video she saw on heart attack symptoms and decided not to wait. That decision likely saved her life. That's why we say, when something feels off, don't ignore it, especially if the symptoms come in pairs, like pressure and shortness of breath, or dizziness and fatigue. If it's new, if it's unusual, or if your gut tells you something isn't right, stop what you're doing, sit down, breathe slowly, call for help, because your body is speaking to you. And the sooner you listen, the better your chances of staying here, strong and alive, for the people who love you. Step 4, sit or lie down. Stillness helps your heart hold on. Once you've recognized the warning signs, called for help, and taken aspirin, it's time to do something that may feel counterintuitive in the middle of a crisis. Be still. Sit or lie down in the safest, most comfortable position you can, and stay there. When your heart is struggling, every ounce of movement puts extra strain on it. The goal now is to conserve energy, reduce demand on your heart, and allow your body to stabilize while help is on the way. You might feel tempted to pace, unlock the front door, or tidy up before the paramedics arrive. But in this moment, stillness is your strength. Think about Helen, 79, who began feeling chest tightness and lightheadedness one afternoon while doing dishes. Her first instinct was to finish what she was doing and clean up a bit. But then she remembered something her doctor once said. If it feels like your heart, stop everything. She sat down in her favorite armchair, called 911, and waited. That moment of calm likely prevented her symptoms from spiraling into something worse. Ideally, you'll want to sit upright in a chair with your back supported and your feet flat on the floor. If you feel faint or dizzy, lie down on your side with your head slightly elevated and your legs slightly bent. Avoid lying flat on your back, especially if breathing is difficult. Don't worry about how it looks. Don't worry about doing nothing. Because in this situation, doing nothing is doing something. It's giving your body the chance to fight back without the added stress of unnecessary movement. If you're near a window, breathe in some fresh air. If you're in a chair, keep your posture relaxed but supported. Let your arms rest at your sides or gently on your lap. Every bit of stillness gives your heart a better chance to recover. So take a breath. Stay put. You've done the right things, and now the best thing you can do is let your body rest while help gets closer with every second. Step 5, make it easier for help to reach you. Unlock the door. If you can, now that you're seated safely and trying to stay calm, there's one more thoughtful action you can take. Unlock your front door. It may seem like a small detail, but in an emergency, it can save precious time. Paramedics are trained to break in if necessary, but forced entry takes time and can be dangerous, especially if you're close to the door or in a tight space. If you feel steady enough and you're near the entrance, unlocking it can mean the difference between a quick rescue and a critical delay. Let me tell you about Eddie, 75, who felt a strange tightness in his chest while reading the newspaper. He followed all the right steps, called 911, chewed aspirin, sat still, but then remembered something his daughter had told him. If anything ever happens, unlock the door. He used the wall for balance and slowly made his way to the front, turned the lock, and sat back down. The paramedics told him afterward that they were able to start care immediately, without breaking in or losing a second. If getting to the door feels unsafe, don't force it. Your safety comes first. But if you're close and steady, that one step could speed up the help you're waiting for. And here's something you can prepare today. If you live alone or in a gated building, consider a smart lock, a keypad entry system, or a secure medical lockbox with a spare key. Share the access code with a trusted friend, neighbor, or emergency service if needed. Also, make sure your address is visible from the street, especially at night or during bad weather. Add reflective numbers or place a light near your door if possible. These may seem like small things, but in an emergency, small things become everything. Taking that extra step sends a clear message to responders. I'm here. I'm ready. Come in and help me. And in those critical moments, that quiet preparation can help save your life. Step 6. Use speakerphone and medical ID. Let your phone speak for you. Now that you've unlocked the door or decided it's safer to stay put, there's one more quiet way you can prepare. Let your phone do the talking for you. In the middle of a heart attack, even simple tasks like holding a phone to your ear can become exhausting. That's why using your phone's speaker feature is so helpful. It frees your hands, reduces effort, and keeps your breathing steadier. You don't have to strain to keep talking. You can just focus on staying calm while the dispatcher stays connected with you. And here's something many people overlook. Nearly every modern phone has an emergency medical ID feature. On iPhones, it's accessible from the lock screen. On Android devices, it's usually listed under emergency settings. It stores vital information like your age, medical conditions, medications, allergies, and emergency contacts. Imagine this. Joan, 82, passed out just 2 minutes before the ambulance arrived. But because her daughter had helped her set up her phone's medical ID, paramedics could see immediately that she had diabetes and a penicillin allergy. That small detail helped them choose the right treatment and reach her daughter fast. It's not just convenient, it's life-saving. If you haven't already, take 5 minutes today to set up your emergency profile. Include your full name, birthday, major health concerns, medications you take, any allergies, and at least one emergency contact. This isn't just for tech-savvy folks. It's for anyone who wants to be protected when they can't speak for themselves. Also, keep your phone nearby, on a table, bedside, or even in your pocket if you're walking around the house. And if you ever feel symptoms coming on and can't speak clearly, press the emergency SOS feature if your phone has one. Some phones even call automatically after a few button presses. Because in those moments when your voice might fade, your phone can still speak for you and say exactly what matters most. Step 7. Slow your breathing. Calm helps your heart hold on. At this point, you've done everything right. You've called for help, chewed an aspirin, stayed still, unlocked your door if possible, and used your phone wisely. Now comes one of the most powerful tools you still have in your control, your breath. When a heart attack strikes, panic often follows. It's understandable. Your body feels strange, your chest tightens, your thoughts race. But here's the truth. The more anxious you become, the harder your heart has to work. And right now, your heart needs rest, not stress. This is where slowing your breathing comes in. It won't stop the heart attack, but it can help your body hold steady until help arrives. Think of your breath as an anchor in a storm. It keeps you from drifting into full panic. Try this. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for a brief moment, then exhale gently through your mouth for a count of 6. Don't force it, just ease into the rhythm. Inhale, pause, exhale. Do it again. Let each breath calm your nervous system and give your heart a break. Let me tell you about Carl, 83, who felt chest discomfort while watching TV one evening. As fear crept in, he remembered a breathing exercise his granddaughter had taught him. He focused on the slow in and out rhythm, counting in his head. "It gave me something to do," he said later, "and it made the wait feel a little less terrifying." You can practice this breathing technique even when you're not in distress, while resting, sitting quietly, or before bed. That way, if you ever need it in a real emergency, your body will already know the rhythm. It's easy to underestimate something as simple as breathing, but in those final minutes before help arrives, it may be the single thing that helps keep your heart from tipping into chaos. So breathe, slow and steady. You're not powerless, you're present, and every calm breath is a quiet act of strength. If there's one thing we hope you take away from this video, it's this: you are never powerless, even when you're alone. A heart attack is one of the scariest emergencies a person can face, especially without someone nearby. But now you have something far more valuable than fear. You have a plan, and that plan gives you time, confidence, and a fighting chance. Let's quickly remember the 7 life-saving steps. Call 911 immediately. Chew an aspirin. Recognize the signs early. Sit or lie down. Unlock the door if you can. Use your phone wisely. And slow your breath. Each one, on its own, can make a difference. Together, they can save your life or someone else's. These aren't complicated medical procedures. They're calm, thoughtful actions rooted in knowledge and self-care. And the more you prepare, the more your body and mind will remember what to do, if that moment ever comes. So take a moment today to check where your aspirin is. Set up your phone's emergency ID. Practice that breathing. Talk to someone you love about what you've learned. Preparation doesn't create fear. It replaces it with power. We hope this video brought you clarity, not panic, strength, not worry. And if it helped you feel more prepared, please leave a comment and share one thing you'll do differently from now on. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell here at Golden Minds, where we believe your wisdom, your life, and your peace of mind still matter deeply.